All right, guys, I got a really good question today on YouTube. Okay, so should I stay with my divine masculine if my divine masculine is in a third party situation? So let's ponder this question for a minute. For some reason, the twin flame community is really into the third party situations. I think maybe because it's a very common occurrence. And this is a very hot button, controversial topic. Should you stay with your divine masculine, who is the one and only one for you, the only one on this earth that has your same soul frequency and who is made for you, la la la, all the romantic stuff? Like, should you stay with that person if they're with a third party and they won't leave their third party? This is a very good question, you guys. And what I want to say is, the questioner actually used the term divine masculine. And I want to challenge that assumption that you and your divine masculine are in your divine energy, right? So think about it. If you are not in your sovereignty, meaning you're settling in your own life and you're not saying no to what you do not want, you are not in your divinity, because you don't see yourself as a sovereign being yet. You see yourself as someone who has to settle for this not ideal situation because that's all that's being offered to you. So your divine masculine is probably saying he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't want to leave the third party. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be able to have you whenever he wants. And probably he ghosts you and comes and goes as he pleases, and leaving you kind of like in a situation where you just have to settle for what you don't want. And I want to tell you that if you're settling, and if you say yes to that, and if you do not say no to it, even though you know deep down you don't want it, you're not in your divinity. Meaning you are not in your sovereignty as a divine feminine energy. You're still in your wounded feminine energy. And I know that's going to be super triggering for some of you guys. It's going to be a major trigger warning. And I'm not going to make any apologies, because what I do see in the twin flame journey in the community is a lot of people settling and not really understanding what this is about. Okay, this is a divine path. This is a soul path. This is an ascension path. And what that means is you, the divine feminine, quote unquote, the divine feminine, are here to live your best life. And I seriously, highly doubt that you splitting your time between you and your divine masculine, he's not in his divine energy, by the way. So that's how, don't even call them the divine masculine at this point. If they're with a third party and you're over there settling for that and or fighting with the third party over your, fighting with your third party, with the third party, the karmic, as we like to call it over here, you're over there fighting with the third party, the karmic, for your divine masculine. First of all, no, that's not divine energy. So you are not in your divine masculine. Your divine masculine is not in his divine masculine, because you're not in your divine feminine energy. So I want to challenge you guys who are in this situation now. You're in a third party situation, not by your choice, but this is how your divine masculine is showing up for you, unfortunately. And it is causing you all kinds of turmoil. And you feel like if you really look at this situation honestly, and you really talked to your higher self about what it is that you desire on this journey and what you envision for your own future, you would say no. You would say no to that situation, and you would absolutely, I would say, cut it off. Meaning, no more settling. If you are going to call yourself a divine feminine, you can't be settling. This is really important for you to know, that if you're going to use the term divine feminine, you can't settle for something that is not divine, that is less than divine. Being stuck in a third party situation where you're fighting over or sharing your divine masculine with another person, that is not divine energy. It's definitely not divine. So what I would say is take a moment to really connect with yourself, because really this journey is not about your divine masculine. It's not about how your twin flame is showing up for you in any given moment. What it is about is how you are being with yourself. Are you being with yourself? Meaning, have you really even given it any thought or consideration? Do I want this? If the energy is materializing in a way that you don't want, you can say no. Because guess what? You're not going to lose anything. If it doesn't resonate with you to be stuck in the third party with this other person and you fighting over your divine masculine, then you have to say no. And that, what I mean by no is you must then do the inner work to shift your frequency so that you are no longer settling for less than your value. If you don't know your value and you don't know what you want, you're going to get stuck in a recursion loop. And what a recursion loop is a recursion loop is when you keep looping around in the same low vibrational energy with your divine masculine, because they're you. They're just you. All they're ever doing is reflecting back to you what's going on the inside. And sometimes the energy goes away when you need to be with yourself. So I want to encourage you. Now is the time to say no to what you don't want and say yes to what you do want. This journey is not about you settling for what you don't want. I want you to really consider why you're on this journey in the first place. And if you know you can't really get off the journey, you know you can't just move on and forget about this person that you're calling your twin flame, then you're going to have to do the inner work to get it to shift. And the only person that can do that is you. So the biggest waste of time and the biggest thing that is hindering your journey is for you to wait on the divine masculine to become divine. Because they can't if you're not. They cannot if you're not. And I want to tell you right now that the best thing you can do is to take time for yourself to shift your energy so that you can get to a place where you know who you are. This whole journey is about who are you and what are you doing here? Who are you and what are you doing here? What's the point of this journey for you? It's a soul path. It's an ascension path. And what does ascension mean? It means you're moving upward. You're moving up the scale of consciousness, meaning at some point you have to say no to what you don't want. Now I want to help you to get your energy in the place of sovereignty and divinity, right? That means you can let go of the third party and having to settle for a third party situation. You don't really have to, okay? And you don't have to keep fighting with your masculine at all to make that happen. It starts from the inside because your inner world creates your outer world. And the reason why I'm here is because I have learned this and experienced this myself. And I have set up the Twin Flame Alchemy Mastermind, which is really what you need in order to know who you are, to know what you want, and to move this journey forward so that you quit looping around in this energy that you don't really want anymore. So what I want you to do is, if this was helpful to you, please click the link in the description box to see about the Twin Flame Alchemy Mastermind. Also, there's going to be a video right here that you can watch that'll tell you more about it. And please make sure that you like this video if it was helpful and subscribe. I would love to see you more often. Okay, talk soon. Bye.